What up, guys? I'm back home. I'm back home in California. I'm here to talk about Dr. Dre releasing his second album, The Chronic 2001, or The Chronic Part 2, or just simply 2001. He released this second album of November 16th, 1999 through Aftermath Entertainment and Interscope Records. Happy 26 years to this album, and it's still an amazing, incredible album. It's got a lot of bangers on it, like Still Dre, Big Egos, and The Watcher, Bleep You with, Devin the Dude and Snoop, and Still Dre featuring with Snoop on it too, and then the next episode with Snoop and Nate Dogg. Just, man, one of my favorites. So anyways, he also, as the follow-up to it is due to the, okay, excuse me. So when it was released through Aftermath Entertainment and Interscope Records as the follow-up to his 1992 debut album, The Chronic, and the album was produced mainly by Dre himself and Mel-Man, as well as Lord Finesse, Finesse. And anyways, features several guest contributions from Hittman, Snoop, Kurupt, Xzibit, Eminem, and Nate Dogg. And you also got other bangers on here. You got Forgot About Dre, and I already mentioned The Watcher. So 2001 exhibits an expansion on Dre's debut G-Funk sound and contains gangsta rap themes such as, violence, crime, promiscuity, and sex, drug use, and street gangs. And the album debuted at number 2 on the U.S. Billboard 200 chart, selling at 516,000 copies of its first week. And it produced 3 singles that attained chart success and has been certified 6 times platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America. And as of August 2015, of August 2015, 10 years ago, the album has sold 7,800 million copies in the United States, and 2001 had received critical acclaim from critics, many of whom praised the production and music, although some found the lyrics objectionable. You also got other bangers on here too. You got some LA and Defari, Xzibit, Nocturnal, Time Bomb, King T, MC Ren, and Coca. And Let's Get High with Kurupt, Hittman, and Miss Rock. Light Speed featuring Hittman. Bar 1 with Tracy Nelson, Miss Rock, and Eddie Griffin. What's the Difference with Eminem and Xzibit. And Xxplosive with Nate Dogg and 6'2" and Kurupt and Hittman. And then you also got The Car Bomb with Mel-Man and Karis Henry. Murder Inc. and Ed-ucation. Pause for Porno. Okay, anyways. You got Housewife with Kurupt and Hittman, including Ackrite with Hittman. Bang Bang featuring Nocturnal and Hittman. And The Message featuring Mary J. Blige and Rel. So in 1995, the original successor to The Chronic was to be titled The Chronic 2, A New World Order, Papa's Got a Brand New Funk. However, this version of the album was scrapped after Dr. Dre departed from Death Row Records. After the creation of Aftermath Entertainment, the album was initially titled Chronic 2000 until Priority Records, who had become Death Row Records' new distributor, decided in conjunction that Suge Knight, the Death Row producer, the founder, not the producer, but the founder of Death Row and CEO, Mr. Suge Knight himself, to call their newest compilation album Chronic 2000. So Death Row owned the trademark for the Chronic, as did Interscope Records, who previously distributed the Death Row catalog. Knight became aware of the title of Dr. Dre's album when notification for the trademark use was required by his label, Aftermath Records. When Aftermath heard that Priority and Death Row Records planned to use the same name for their album, Dre sought to legal action. And according to his lawyer, Howard King, both sides agreed that we allowed the other to use the title and then let the public decide which one they preferred. And after the release of Death Row's Chronic 2000, Interscope announced that Dre album would now be named 2001, obviously, Chronic 2001. No seeds through the teaser posters displaying a summer 1999 release date. And amongst the roster of guests listed on the posters were rappers like Sticky Fingers and RBX, who neither were featured on the finished album. Years later, in an interview with Sticky Fingers, he stated the song featuring himself and RBX was the Eminem song Remember Me, which at Eminem's request was put aside for his then upcoming album, the Marshall Mathers LP, shortly after the Interscope Records began the main promotional campaign, displaying a new release date, October 26th of 1999, and logo that drops. The new logo drops the subtitle No Seeds. At this point, Priority decided to not honor the original agreement and threatened to sue Dr. Dre if the Chronic trademark were to be used in any capacity. Dre eventually decided to release the album as simply 2001 in November, and despite this, marijuana leaf, yes, as y'all see it, the logo, was added to the album cover next to 2001 and a subtle nod to its original name. Subtle nod, I meant to say. In an interview with the New York Times, Dre spoke about his motivation to record the album and how he felt that he had to prove himself to fans and media again after doubts arose over his production and rapping ability. These doubts came from the fact that he had not released a solo album since 1992's his debut, The Chronic. He stated that for the last couple of years, there's been a lot of talk out on the streets about whether or not I can still hold my own, whether or not I'm still good at producing. That was the ultimate motivation for me. Magazines, word of mouth, and rap tabloids were saying I didn't have it anymore. What more do I need to do? How many platinum records have I made? Okay, here's the album. Now, what do you have to say? So the album was first intended to be released like a mixtape with tracks linked through the interludes and turntable effects, but it was changed to be set up like a film. Dre stated that everything you hear is planned. It's a movie with different varieties of situations. So you've got the build-ups, touching movements, aggressive moments. You've even got a pause for PORNO. Anyways, it's got everything that a movie needs. Speaking of how he did the record, he did not record the album, However, he did not record the album for club or radio play, and that he planned the album simply for entertainment with comical aspects. Throughout, he commented, I'm not trying to send out any messages or anything with this record. I just touch of dark comedy. Here and there, a lot of times the media just takes this and tries to make it into something else when it's all entertainment. First, you shouldn't take it too seriously. So, some of the lyrics of this album right here was used by Dre have been noted to be penned by several ghostwriters, including Eminem, Jay-Z, and Hittman, Royce the 5'9", and was rumored to be a ghostwriter on the album. And though he was noted writing the last track, The Message, and he is not credited by his legal name, or alias in the line notes, a track he recorded on the album originally named The Way I Be Pimpin'. I was later retouched as Xzibit. The Way I Be Pimpin' has Dr. Dre rapping penned verses by Royce and features Royce's vocals on the chorus. And Royce wrote several tracks such as The Throne Is Mine and Stay in Your Place, which later cut from the album. The tracks have been leaked later on several mixtapes, including Pre-Talks, and the rest is history. So more to it. During the hype of the new metal era, the band Korn kept Dr. Dre from hitting at number one in America's Billboard 200 with their album Issues, which sold 575,000 copies of its first week. And as a result, the album debuted at number two on the chart with first week sales of 516,000 copies. It also entered at number one on Billboard's top R&B/hip hop albums chart. And the album was successful in Canada, where it reached number two on the charts. The record was mildly successful in Europe, reaching number 4 in the United Kingdom, number 7 in Ireland, and number 15 in France, and number 17 in the Netherlands, and number 26 in Norway. It peaked at number 11 on the New Zealand album chart. Number 11. So closing out the year 2000, the album was number 5 on the Billboard top albums and number 1 on the Billboard top R&B/hip hop albums chart. It re-entered the charts in 2003, peaking on the UK albums top 75 at number 61 and on the Ireland albums top 75 at number 30. And the album was certified 6 times platinum by the RIAA on November 21st of 2000. And it's Dr. Dre's best-selling album, and it's still a best-selling album, as his previous album, The Chronic, was certified 3 times platinum. And as of August 2015, at the time, the album has, I already mentioned, sold 7,800 million copies in the U.S. This album will always be a classic. Just like his debut Chronic album will always be a classic. No doubt. His debut will always be a classic. The second one's dope too. Check that out. Super catchy, right? Super dope. So if you love West Coast rap, hip hop, if you just love rap and hip hop, you gotta have this album in your collection. Y'all gotta have this. I know y'all do, but the ones that don't, definitely get a hold of it at your local record store or even online. What's your favorite song off the album? Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and comment. Follow your boy, NerdyRed23, and I will be gladly to return to the next video. Y'all have a blessed one, and stay safe. Keep bumping this album by Dr. Dre on your turntables, y'all. Peace.